So good to be seen, and it's even better to see what's going on. I hope you're doing well and staying safe. If you're now stumbling on this channel and we've never met before, let's change that. My name is Francis. I happen to be an animal rights activist as well as the CEO and founder of the Petmosphere app, who coincidentally, as expected, is the sponsor of today's video. Now, Petmosphere aims to be your one-stop shop for everything pet related, whether it is you want to adopt a pet or buy them a little bit of dog food here and there and everything in between. So feel free to swing by petmosphere.com anywhere you are in the world and download it for free on both iOS and Android devices. As you can tell, I have my laptop open, and that's because I've been sort of marinating the idea of these three commercials that have been making their way into the channels that I like to stream. Like many of you out there, I've actually increased the amount of TV time that I dedicate to my day, which is not technically something I'm proud of, but I'm kind of happy I'm doing it, because otherwise I would have never come across these commercials that sort of exhibit the talking points that I'm going to be discussing with you guys today. So judging by the thumbnail and the title of this video, as you can imagine, I want to discuss three commercials that have been making themselves into the channels that I stream during this pandemic, which sort of depict a counter argument to that which is being accused of us as vegans. And so without further ado, I kind of want to play these for you back to back so that you have sort of an idea of where I'm going with this, and maybe you can even have some observations of your own in case I missed any, and we can continue the conversation in the comments. And so without further ado, here they are.
Big holiday shopping at Amazon. So now she's free to become Maureen the Merrier. Food is her love language, and she really loves her grandson. Like, really loves.
So as you can tell by that first ad from Amazon, which is kind of pre-holiday, Maureen, the main character here, happens to be a lovely grandma who is not just saving money from her purchases online, but allocating those saved funds to her other passion in life, which apparently appears to be cooking. And so that's the first thing that I grabbed from this commercial. Now, granted, this definitely looks like a pre-holiday / during the holiday sort of dinner with friends and family. And that's how they made her out to be, expressing her love and affection for her friends and family, which is all fine and dandy. But again, the connection that I want you to make is that they are tying love and affection to food. And so last but not least, and this is by far the biggest one, is the fact that she lays down this humongous, never before seen size T-bone steak to what appears to be grandson. At least that's what I made him out to be. And so he's so flabbergasted by the fact that he saw this steak on his plate. He's probably going to dive in teeth first and completely get rid of the fork and the little knife there. And what boggles my mind, the third talking point that I want to make as a result of this video, is that she expresses love for not just her grandson, but this is kids we're talking about. And so the point I'm trying to make with this commercial is that they start them young. They start them as, I'm showing appreciation and affection through what I feed you on a daily basis. And like I said earlier, it sort of establishes the precedent of what it is that we want them to start believing at a very young age.
The hottie sauce is here. Get my new hottie sauce at Popeyes today.
So that second commercial happens to be from a well-known fast food restaurant, specifically in the south of the US, if I'm not mistaken, called Popeyes. They specialize in chicken food. And so in fact, the matter is they hired Megan Thee Stallion, a representative of the hip hop community, a well-known at that actually, to be the newest spokesperson for what I believe to be called hottie sauce. Now, the first talking point that I want to sort of bring to the table is the fact that I believe it is her own music in the background, and it has some explicit lyrics that were actually beeped out. I don't know if you caught that. If you didn't, feel free to press rewind for a second. But the fact of the matter is, hands on my knees, shaking, what. That's very sexual to me in nature, and sexuality and all this, innuendos in the past has been really well known to sell. It's like they say, sex sells, and so that's the first thing that I was able to grab from that. The second thing, and this is very prevalent in mainstream media, is the fact that they use very attractive women to sexualize food, and they sort of tie in together so that they go hand in hand. And this is a very well-known tactic to sort of cater to the masses, specifically men, and use this type of advertising to intrigue them, to swing by the restaurants and things of that nature. And so I'm not a huge fan of her flaunting her goods. She was basically popping out of that top, which is, again, in line with the sexualization of women in order to sell people some food.
When your family gathers around a shakaroni pizza from Papa John's, you're sharing our biggest, most foldable slices with extra cheese and pepperoni. But you're also sharing way more. You're sharing the chance to graduate college, 3 meals a day, and a safe place for kids to learn and grow. Because $1 from every shakaroni goes to charities people depend on. It's not just pizza, it's pizza with a purpose.
So the third commercial you were able to appreciate is that of Papa John's, a well-known pizza chain where Shaquille O'Neal happens to own a couple of franchises, if I'm not mistaken. He was a very well-known basketball player himself, so he has quite a bit of an audience. And so in this commercial, I was able to appreciate a couple of things as well. So I couldn't help but notice that the charities involved in this association in particular happened to be the Baltimore Hunger Project as well as the Boys and Club of America, two charities that I have personally come to know as catering to middle and lower class communities and families. And so the problem that I have with that is the fact that they are promoting this dairy and meat product to these families who can't afford much in the sense of nutritionally dense foods, and they have no choice but to use pizza chains and fast food and garbage food to try and get these people to help these same communities. Second thing I want to talk about is the fact that they try to make you feel good by purchasing one of these products. As with any other meat, eggs, and dairy industry, they sort of try to circumvent what's really happening and sort of take the back door into your conscience and getting you to sort of get suckered into buying this pizza because of the fact that you now know $1 will go to these charities. So again, this is all marketing and advertising to get you to buy a product that's, according to this, $12, only one of which will actually serve a rightful purpose. To my point, the actual commercial ends with the phrase pizza with a purpose. So be careful what you're actually buying out there. So again, what better way to discuss three of the most trending commercials known out there right now to try to drive this point home and let you know that it is not vegans actually pushing a propaganda. It is these major corporations and businesses trying to get us to do the same thing over and over again, nonstop, to no end whatsoever. So after watching these three commercials, and believe me when I tell you this is just the tip of the iceberg, you got to ask yourself one very important question. Are vegans the ones really pushing propaganda, pushing an agenda? Let me know in the comments below whether you agree that is now the truth. And now granted, I know that we have our own message and it gets misconstrued because we are fighting these huge businesses and corporations who are dumping millions and millions of dollars on an everyday basis just to get you to think otherwise. It's like I said at the beginning of the video, if you set something in motion, the odds of that continuing are contingent on societal structures. And the way that is set up is the fact that if we do something collectively, we never ever question it, and we always believe it is the norm. So what do you think? Are vegans actually spreading propaganda? Are we pushing an agenda? Or is it the other way around? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to continue this conversation in the comment section. If you were new here and you enjoyed something out of this video and you liked it, let me know by hitting that thumbs up button. Definitely helps the channel. And if you want to watch more of my activism, all you got to do is just subscribe and make sure to hit that bell on the way out so you don't miss a single one of my videos. My name is Francis. Thank you so much for watching. Share if you'd like to, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Take care.